Every game on the planet has rewards for the player, otherwise there wouldn't be a reason for doing it or putting in extra effort. And so Nintendo introduced the type of secret level filled with prizes, the Coin Heavens. But how did this area evolve and change throughout the years? Coin Heavens are bonus areas found in most Super Mario games, and first appeared in Super Mario Bros. In all games it's included, and they're secretly located in the sky in several levels, accessed through a hidden item or secret path. It is loaded with coins, which the player may or may not have the ability to completely collect, and puts the player back into the main level after completion. In Super Mario Bros, they can be accessed when the player hits a block that holds a vine, which upon climbing up, leads the player into the area. The player then must ride along a moving cloud in order to reach all the coins before being dumped back onto the ground. Now the Mario levels without any added secrets like these coin levels and question mark blocks are quite linear and even boring. They are crucial for the game. However, because these features are in the level, it all becomes more diverse in terms of gameplay and less simple. Running from left to right, jumping on some ugly brown mushrooms and deformed turtles can become a bit stale. Besides that, it also adds a surprise element to the game, because most people didn't expect stuff like this to be a thing, so some were shocked, in a good way. Back in the 80s and 90s, the internet wasn't a thing after all, so finding these was rare. The only way to even know about them was by reading Nintendo Power and looking in the manual of the games. And those were still extremely vague about it all. It was a true secret. However, sadly enough, coins don't add a whole lot to the game. They increase your score, and if you collect enough of them, they give you a bonus life. But you can't do a whole lot with them. Now in the next one, called Super Mario Bros. 2, they weren't even seen. Because this game is quite different from the previous, because it's based on another called Doki Doki Panic. Luckily enough, they return in Super Mario Bros. 3, the textbook example for a 2D Super Mario game. In this game, they are accessed differently. If the player finds an invisible pink note block, the player can jump on it, sending them into the Coin Heaven. In this version, the game will automatically side-scroll the player through and give them a chance to collect all the coins before reaching the pipe at the end, which will send them back to the ground. If the player is equipped with either the Super Leaf or Tanuki suits, they could fly upward in some Coin Heavens and find a brick block with a 1-up mushroom inside. However, since it's auto-scrolling, going to the left of the block can crush the player between it and the screen. So there's also a trap element to it all. Clearly, they put a lot more effort in these versions of the bonus area because it's more organized this time around. More secrets and even special music was added, which already shows the extra care that went into them. Besides that, not a whole lot was added to them. They mostly made it look nicer and run smoother and add more secrets. Now in the next game, Super Mario World, beanstalks, pipes and Yoshi wings can be used to get to a version of a Coin Heaven. As in Super Mario Bros. 3, the area auto-scrolls, though they don't have as many coins as is standard. However, they do have 5 dragon coins to make up for it. So the ways of getting to the levels was expanded, making for more surprising ways of finding them, and even rewarding the player for experimenting. Because Yoshi, a companion Mario can control and use in any way possible, can also be used to find them. So if a player is curious enough and looks for them using the wings Yoshi can have, then they will be rewarded. And those levels are even some sort of flying sections, which is a ton of fun, more difficult, and also a lot more interactive. So different versions of them were also added, which wasn't seen in the previous game, and this would continue in future games as well. The treasure found in the area also became more valuable because dragon coins are special collectibles in the game that the game keeps track of. So for the diehard player that wants to 100% it, these became extremely important. After this game, they disappeared for ages, mostly because of the 3D titles. They finally returned in the modern revival of the 2D side-scrolling genre, the new Super Mario Bros. Franchise. This series brings back beanstalks as the Coin Heaven access method, and very wildly in layout this time, even more so than the previous games. For example, there are above ground and underground versions now, making finding them a lot harder, but also a fun challenge. They also added interesting gimmick and puzzle-like aspects to them. Like in the Wii game, there are coins that are too high up to reach, and you need to use a power block at the right time to get them. Or an underground one hidden in quicksand where you fall down and have a limited amount of time to collect as many of them as possible. So they're found everywhere now, and you have no clue what to expect, because all of them have a different gimmick. This adds variety to the game and makes them a real surprise. Older games had quite basic layouts and a limited amount, making it less exciting every time. So it's good that they finally took care of that problem. In the second new Super Mario Bros. Game, unlockable rainbow courses also appear for every world, should the last 2 digits of the timer match the world number upon clearing a course. And in later entries like the one seen on the Wii U, more different versions of the secret coin sections were added that even made use of the power-ups like the Super Acorn. At this point, they weren't really coin heavens anymore, but actually secret coin-filled sections that felt like minigames. Now during this time period, Nintendo also released some 3D games, and here they were also seen. In Super Mario 3D Land, many courses contain coin heavens, which contains a star medal at the end. This is a collectible like the Dragon Coins, but this time they also unlock levels like Power Stars. So this time around you can find stuff there that is actually valuable, because you get something back for it. They are accessed in similar fashion to Super Mario Bros. 3, and the most common type scrolls sideways, with a single question mark block that contains a superstar, which the player can use to defeat enemies and earn a 1-up. These are mostly there to create a fun and high-paced section in the level. Besides that, they're not very special, and the reward is also kinda basic. The other type of coin heaven has many cloud platforms scrolling up and often starts out with coins arranged in the shape of 3D. And besides that, an isometric camera view is used to trick players who do not turn on the 3D mode of the Nintendo 3DS. Personally, I think this is a really cool touch. It changes the game drastically, especially how it handles, making for a different experience. This keeps players busy and engaged. Otherwise, it could get stale, so this is a great addition. Now the other 3D game going with the name World for the Wii U had a different approach though. Here you have to use cloud cannons to access them. They always have green stars at the end, like with star medals in Super Mario 3D Land, and they're always side-scrolling. These areas also have more enemies, and have either a question mark block with a superstar, or a piranha plant that can be used to take out enemies. The effect created in these sections is also a bit different from any other version seen in the series, and that's because of the multiplayer aspect. This 3D Mario game was more of a party game than a single-player adventure, and you can even see this in the coin heavens. The green stars are worth a ton of points, and at the end of each level, the one with the most points wins. So you're essentially racing against each other for that green pointed prize that will give your final score a huge boost. They essentially turned them into some sort of versus minigame, which is an interesting twist, and as an added bonus, they also unlock levels. Now the most recent game featuring coin heavens was Super Mario Odyssey, and in this game they brought the concept from the new Super Mario Bros. Series to 3D. Because in this version they added a ton of gimmicks to them again. For example, a high-paced jumping course, or one where you slowly float down and need to land on some sort of booster to get back up again to collect more coins. Besides that, power moons were also added to the levels, and there's usually an extra challenge attached to them. So it's essentially an old concept, this time explored in a 3D world. And getting to them became a lot more difficult this time around, which is a good thing because it keeps you busy. Now, this is where our journey ends. They started out as quite basic sections that just had a lot of coins, and in the end, they became some sort of playground for Nintendo to experiment with all kinds of weird, fun, and interesting gimmicks. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. I'm currently in America, you lovely humans, but I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm at PAX East, running around and yelling at Commonwealth Realm and HMK and Etika, I guess, and Zelda Master. It'll be fun. Watch more videos. Give me AdSense. Bye.